Only thing unplugged is Forgotten Seasons.
Welcome back to Forgotten Seasons. Today we got a good one, Jelani, man. Fun fact, when I started Forgotten Seasons like 4 years ago, the very first post that I made was Josh Smith, because I think that this dude is one of the most slept on defenders, versatile players of the 2000s. And today we're lucky enough to have him in the recording room. J-Smoove, how you living today, man?
J-Smoove.
What's up, man? I'm living good, man. Thanks for having
Of
me.
course. I think this is going to be an especially good one because, Smoove, you had the pleasure of playing for a drink of water with my burnt out co-host in Atlanta. So I think this will be especially good.
Yeah, man. Definitely was a great teammate of mine. Too brief, if you ask me, but definitely was a good guy for sure.
I appreciate that. I felt the same way. I knew Josh was like reminding me of myself, so I did what I could while I was there to make sure, he was in a better position, you know what I mean, as a young player coming into a tough situation. So the talent was undeniable. When you seen Josh Smith, you realize you didn't have to be even like basketball to understand that he was good at whatever he was doing. So, you know what I mean? Hats off to him as a young fella in his career, and I'm excited about this one, Dylan, because at least it's not that everybody isn't the homie, but you know what I mean? I at least got, like you said, I had a little time cut short, but I spent some time with Josh.
So before we get into the Hawks thing, I want to kind of start in high school. We've been posting about it a lot, just like the high school to NBA pipeline. And I think that your high school class, when you look at it, like talent-wise, that top 10, 15, I don't know how many classes rival that in terms of talent. To go down the list, it's Dwight Howard, Sean Livingston, Al Jefferson, Rudy Gay, yourself, Marvin Williams, Sebastian Telfair, Randolph Morris, J.R. Smith. And if we remember, so this is the class of 2004. The year before that, LeBron goes to the league. And then what I assume happens is people see that and it goes really well. In your class, like 5 of the top 7 guys end up going to the league. You are one of them. What do you just like remember from coming up with that class? Any memorable like games, rivalries? I want to talk about your AAU team, but talk to us just about that like high school to NBA pipeline and how it got to the point where like pretty much all 5 of the top players went straight from high school to the league.
Yeah. But yeah, we for sure did. We had a hell of a class for sure. But you know, we played in the era where if you was a really good player, you didn't play your age group. So you know this new era of playing 15U, 16U, and then 17U it's kind of strange to me. I'm trying to get accustomed to it, but I think after 15, I just started playing 18. So I think it kind of got me mentally and physically prepared for the leaps and bounds that I was going to need to make going from high school to the NBA. Getting beat up by guys like Kendrick Perkins and Leon Poe, LeBron James, guys that were older than me, and me understanding or trying to figure out, how can I be able to, compete with these guys one day, and that was a drive that added a fuel to the fire in itself. So, playing older guys, it kind of definitely got me ready.
Josh, I know you played against older players. Were you always tall? Did you have a big growth spurt? Were you always, you know what I mean, tall for your age and always had to play against the older guys? Or did you have started off normal size, got beat up, and then grew into, you know what I mean, 6, whatever?
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of normal size. Well, I was a little taller than my friends, but basketball wise, I was kind of average height, all the way up until probably like the ninth grade. I think from eighth grade to ninth grade, that was my biggest growth spurt. I went from like 6 feet, 6'1" to like 6'6".
I did the same thing.
When
I
I
went
got
from 5'9" to
when I was in
6'4".
ninth, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like that was a big adjustment for me to when I got that tall. My athleticism just kept growing and going. So I used that as a staple point when I was younger to be able to compete with those guys using my athleticism, my quickness. and you gotta have IQ, especially to be able to play older. You know what I'm saying, as a young kid.
Talk to us about the Atlanta Celtics. I can't imagine like rolling up to an AU game and seeing you and Dwight Howard as like the front line. Like, could you just smell and see the fear in the players when they pulled up? Were any of the games close? I know that Brandon Rush, Javaris Crittenton, I think Randolph Morris was also on that team. Some people think that that
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
best AAU team ever. I don't know where you stand on that, but what was your AAU experience like? Because Jelani and I were talking yesterday. He played on a really good AAU team, and I think had a similar experience to you. But me as a 5'11" white dude, I know that if I pulled up to that game and I saw you and Dwight punching in layup lines, like I don't know how I'm gonna do this game.
I mean, we're definitely up there in conversation. If
Gotta
you
be.
ask anybody that was on the AAU teams back in the day, they'll say they had the
Hmm.
best ones in the history. So we're definitely up there. But we were so humble back in the day. You got to think about it. It wasn't no Instagram, and guys wasn't really bumping into NBA players how freely they do now. Um, so it was like, we were just kids. We were just kids, not even really understanding what we were doing in that moment. We seen, the crowd was definitely packed, but we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know why they was there for us. Our coaches did a great job at keeping us humble. Rest in peace, um, Coach Prather, and Carl McCray is still alive, but he did a great job. They both did a great job at keeping us eyes on the
Hmm.
prize. So we definitely had a really good program. We still have it today. I'm involved with the Atlanta Celtics, and they still have a good pipeline in Atlanta and around Georgia, and getting great players and pushing them to the NBA and into high level colleges.
So then how does you going from AAU in the high school scene get to the NBA? Is that mostly because of Oak Hill? Because you end up going there, and is that when the NBA attention and the scouts and the coaches start talking to you, or was that a thing before you even went to Oak Hill? And what do you remember from those like first NBA scouts talking to you and finding out that you could actually be in the NBA? Because you're 17, 18 years old, and now you got grown men coming to you and asking you. I mean, what did they ask you, and what do you remember from that?
Want some from you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I gotta thank my parents.
Mm.
I mean, I had really good. My mom and dad did a great job at keeping my vision tunneled, and kind of blocking out the noise on people that was trying to get in the pot. You know what I
hmm
mean? Everybody sees, and they see it, and they want to be a part of it, right? Jelani, you know it, and it's just about having a great support system around you. Kind of like, being that voice for you to say no, and kind of narrowing your vision, and staying focused on the prize at hand, because you can get distracted. And I think Oak Hill did a great job, because it was nothing up there but books and basketball,
Mm-hmm.
and we were playing nothing but the best talent around the world. And I'm not, no knock to public schools or anything like that, but if you want to like make it, and you're trying to like merge quickly into that professionalism, a school like Oak Hill is great for a kid. It blocks out so many distractions. The only thing you can do is talk to a girl on the phone. So it's like, you could it's just books and basketball, and building your game up to being able to play at the next level.
Well, for both of
That's
you,
dope.
like,
You don't hear a lot. You don't hear a lot of people talk about what goes on at Oak Hill and Mount of Wilson. I know it's in the
Oh
middle,
yeah.
kind of nowhere. Everybody always wonder,
Mhm.
like, what exactly do they do there? Because they don't play a regular high school schedule. They always traveling.
Mhm.
Like, it definitely
Yeah.
is a introduction in how to be a professional player almost more so than a college player because, you know, like you're really taking your brand on the road and traveling and not really playing in a conference or y'all really playing for national championships, right? At the end of the day at Oak Hill, there's no league champion
Absolutely.
or Harbor League or
Hmm.
independent league. Like
Yep.
y'all thing is to
Hmm.
be, you know, the national championship at the high school career. So I always thought it was very interesting. Like, man, nobody ever really talks about it. You know what I mean? They always say that, you know, there
Hmm.
obviously aren't girls there, but I always commend y'all for holding that
No,
close to
they
heart.
have girls. They have girls that it's like an invisible line. You just can't cross that invisible line.
See, that's what I'm saying. Everybody, yeah. So
Yeah, it's
you got
co-ed. It's co-ed. You just
you got to be
you
a co-op mission to do it. It really got to be a job if you want to hang
oh
out with a
man, but
girl.
it ain't even worth it because you
You
get
get
kicked
kicked out
out.
for
You know, you
crossing the
could
line
talk
and
to
just
them
talking to a girl?
at a certain time for sure. You know, you could talk to them during the school. We have like little stuff that we have like activities on weekends sometimes where but it's like this
Invisible
is a
line.
visible
That's
line.
what
You
you
know,
say. Yeah.
once the activity is over, y'all go over there. And they're over there. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So,
Everyone
but
says that everyone says the
yeah.
same exact thing about Oak Hill, dating back to like we talked to Rod Strickland, who was like the first player to go there. Steven Jackson says that, and
Hmm.
every single player that goes to Oak Hill says the same thing. What's your Coach Smith story? Because Steve Smith is probably one of the most like, you know,
Hmm.
probably underground legendary coaches. I think he just retired, but
Hmm.
what makes him
He
such a
is.
good coach?
Yeah,
Because every
absolutely.
single player that goes through that program says the same thing about him is that, you know, dude's an amazing coach and he stayed at that school for his
Yeah.
pretty much, you know, whole career.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to say how well he does with juggling all those different personalities each and every year. Having to
Hmm.
have guys come in top 5 in the country, top 15 in the country, and being able to manage those personalities and get them to play at the highest level. Being able to be away from home. I think Miss Smith did a great job at making it feel home. I was, people get homesick, and even though your parents come up there, you do want to be at home, at that age. But they did a great job at keeping us focused. We won a national championship our year, me and Rondo, and our team, and it's a place where you wanna you wanna leave when you're there, like you wanna leave because you miss home, but when you leave, you appreciate those moments and you
Hmm.
miss being up there. If that makes
Yes, it
sense.
does.
Um, it taught me a lot. It made me a man quickly in those 6-7 months I was up there. I gained friends that I still talk to today, teammates that I still talk to today. We have a little group text message where we check up on each other, and I find that so dope that we're able to stay connected that long. And Oak Hill is a place where you know it's underrated still to this day because you have a lot of these other prep schools that
Hmm.
are coming out like IMG and Mount Verde, and they're in these dope locations. Uh, and Mount Wilson doesn't sound as attractive as going out to a Mount Verde seeing palm
Facts.
trees, but it builds a different type of character when you go up there. I can say that for sure.
Hoops fans, it is that time of year. The NBA season is in full swing, and I've teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook to get you even closer to the action. All new customers can sign up using my code Forgotten Seasons and get a no sweat bet up to $1,000 if your bet doesn't hit. Minimum deposit of $5, and when you sign up, be sure to use my promo code Forgotten Seasons. Something I like to do when I use DraftKings is make a same game parlay where you can combine multiple bets from the same game for a shot at an even bigger payout. DraftKings makes it fun, safe, and easy to place your own same game parlay. You can choose from player lines, game lines, total points. There's so many possibilities. So what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use my promo code Forgotten Seasons. All new customers who sign up can get a no sweat bet. That's promo code Forgotten Seasons. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Can I say something? As a person who went to college, I think the community of Oak Hill is stronger than some of the community and alumni associations in college, bro. So even though you didn't get to the college experience of the Duke and the North Carolina, the Kansas, the whole humdrum, the Oak Hill bond is much stronger than a lot of the blue bloods or, a lot of the successful college programs. So even though you missed college, you really didn't, because as a person who went to college, we always talk about the brotherhood and the stories from our college teams, and you already got that in 6 to 7 months in Oak Hill. So it makes sense to me why you would jettison into the NBA, you know what I mean? Because you got what you needed, fortified with some guys, that are already like-minded. So it speaks to Coach Smith, mouth of Wilson, Virginia, the whole Oak Hill spot, because, that you felt confident enough and you had some information with people who had already done it to make that jump. I mean, it really makes, thinking about why do guys come out of high school, but when I think about you at Oak Hill and listening to you, it kind of makes good sense to why you would make a jump to high school.
So just segueing to the NBA, so 2004 draft, you go in the first round. And I think people are always so concerned about like the on-court, what happens on-court. But what I'm interested in is like, you're an 18-year-old kid staying home. You get drafted by the Hawks. You're from Atlanta. And the Hawks, like the team is horrible. And Jelani's there too. But it's one of the record-wise worst teams of the 2000s. There was a lot of talent there. You got guys like Antoine Walker, Al Harrington, Kenny Anderson, Josh Childress, Ty Lue. So there's a lot of like
Tony Doak.
There's a lot of talent there, but like, what is that feeling like going into the league? You enter the league and you're home. I'm sure there's a lot of friends and family trying to come see you, but like the team is horrible. Like, what is that like? What do you remember just from those like first weeks or month with the Hawks, where it's your entrance to the league? You're at home, like it's supposed to be like this beautiful thing, but on the court, like, I think you lose like your last like 32 of 35 games or something like that. Like, what is that? What was just that entrance to the league like for you?
13 and 69,
Yep.
I think. I think it was like 13 and 69,
Yep.
I think we ended the year. Man, from a winning standpoint, it was tough. It was definitely tough, but you got to take an effect. I was 18 and I'm living out my dream right now. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'll take the 13 to 69 for right now. You know what I mean? I'm happy the commissioner called my name. So it was an experience. It was definitely an experience. It was a learning experience. Antoine Walker took me under his wing when I first got in. He was a great vet, man. It was a great example of a vet that showed you things that you should be able to, that you should apply to your game, and some things that you should just leave on, let him have it for his journey. You know what I mean? So, but he was great, man. And that's what I think is a lost art in today's game, is the veteran. They helped me kind of maturity wise close that gap. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it. I'm a kid, so I'm a kid around a whole bunch of grown ass men. You know what I mean? So I want to play around and joke off, and I'm not understanding the magnitude of we're losing and shit's not funny. You know what I'm saying? So I had to like understand and learn those things as a young professional. You know what I'm saying? And then when I came in the game, it wasn't all this dress like a hip hop rapper, or come in the gym with jogging pants on. Like, the veteran would get on your ass so quick, man, and make you feel like you'll be so embarrassed that you looking down at your sweatpants like you ashamed, like you done disappointed your dad. You know what I mean? So
you know what it
we had to
was?
wear
You
like
had to
blazers.
go get them Willis and Walkers with the blazer with the
Willis
little
and Walker jeans,
Gucci shoe.
the
Remember
big
we
with the
had the
wide.
wide at the bottom with the little
Couldn't even
Gucci
see the
shoe.
shoes because the jeans was so wide.
with the blazer and the like. You already know.
Yeah,
And we did it, and that was
yeah,
Kevin Willis's.
yeah.
That was as we speaking about veterans. Kevin Willis, one of the old heads in the locker room, he had a jean company called Willis and Walker.
Wilson Walker.
It
Yep.
was out of Atlanta. So I mean,
His last
Josh
year, that was his whole purpose. His whole purpose was
was getting
to
his
get the
brand.
team,
Yeah,
Respect.
was getting his brand
surround the
stitched.
teams around the NBA. I'm
And
not mad at
we
him.
the dudes brought like 20 pair. Like sure,
Yeah,
OG.
yeah.
Like we
Everybody was showing love.
come
Yao
on, man.
Ming, everybody had them Wilson
Yeah.
Walkers on.
Yep. With
Yeah,
the
for
little
sure.
shoes. Big jeans, wide bottom with little
Thanks.
shoes with the
Yes,
jacket.
yes,
My bad. I didn't
yes.
I just remembered that. I had
Nah,
to bring that
yeah,
up.
yeah. But things like that, man. Just I would have to credit the veterans. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? The veterans helped me understand the game. Now, uh, is each and every organization different? Yes. You know what I'm saying? It's like dating. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think every female is the same when you're in this long term relationship, and then things may fall out, and then boom, you meet the other girl and be like, hold on, man, this one's a little better.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Or you know what I mean? Like, so it's like understanding things and being okay and understanding, knowing that it's a business. Like, when you step into the professional realms, it's a business. So, emotions have to be kind of left to the side. No matter what they show you or how they make you feel, you got to understand in the back of your head, it's a business.
Jelani,
How
what
long did it take you in the league before you realized that? How many years you
How
think?
many years?
Yeah.
I say when I thought I was supposed to be an all-star and I wasn't.
That's when it really sunk in.
Yeah, that's when it really sunk in. That and I'm gonna have to say, well, I wouldn't even say that was my first one. I say when I was re-signing with the Hawks and I was a restricted free agent. That's when I
what
knew it
year
was a
was that?
business. Trying to figure out
Was that your first deal after the rookie deal?
my first deal after my rookie deal. So it
Hmm.
might have been, I want to say, oh nine,
And this is
maybe
fresh off. I
oh
mean,
eight.
this is fresh off 2 seasons where you have 100 steals and 200 blocks in a season. You're the only player other than Kirilenko, Ewing, Ben Wallace, David Robinson, and Hakeem Olajuwon to do that multiple times. So you do
Crazy.
that in like year 3 or 4.
Did you know that
I had no idea. Um, he shot that stat out to me.
A week
When
ago.
did we have a
A week ago.
conversation? Yeah, about a week ago. I had no idea.
J-Smoove?
I hadn't. If I'm trying to figure out if my agent knew that going into the meeting, maybe
Right.
maybe he could have shot that out there. We would have got signed a little quicker.
So you thought
Right.
you thought, and like rightfully so, that your play would have warranted like a bidding war because you're a restricted free agent, so teams can basically throw money, and then it's on the Hawks to either match it or let you walk. And what happened? Just like the offers that you thought didn't come in, your agent was giving you information, and then you ended up settling with the Hawks.
No, I met a couple. I met a couple of teams. I met a couple of teams that year. I'm not gonna say who because it's irrelevant now. But met with a couple of teams. They showed me a couple of offers. They showed me like an offer sheet, but they was kind of nervous to kind of like offer it to me because the Hawks was telling everybody they was gonna match any
Mm.
deal.
Mm.
So that's what they do. They try to tell everybody around the league that they're gonna match
Keep
whatever.
the number
They might
down.
not even match it, but that's just gonna put fear in people's hearts to even offer you the money.
Hmm.
So a team has to really, really want you, and by the grace of God, Memphis offered me an offer sheet, and I signed it. And I had to say, less than a minute later,
Once you get that one,
they picked it up, man.
the real
They picked the
agents
offer
know.
up.
Yeah, they'll call a team that they
Mm-hmm.
ain't cool with. They'll be like, "I need you to make this. I need you
Mhm.
to run it up."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So we
Yeah.
could take it. So
Mm-hmm.
they'll then I got you with two other
Yeah.
players on the roster when we negotiate. That's
Absolutely.
the
Yeah.
game within the
Yeah.
game. Yep.
Absolutely, yeah. So my agents had an idea, had some increments that they was gonna sign, but they did a great job at convincing Memphis to go ahead and do it. To send the offer out, but they picked it up like that. Like the Hawks picked it up as soon as I signed it. So it was like a conversation when like, congratulations, you're coming back, and I was so stressed out during the process. I'm like, y'all could have offered me a little less than this, I would have signed it. But y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all were being unreasonable. You know what I mean? It was like super unreasonable. But things happen for a reason, and that opened my eyes to the league being big business.
Well, Josh, you're also coming on the heels of a lot of players coming to high school not having success after that first deal. Right, you know
Absolutely,
what I mean?
yes, yes.
There's
So,
the Josh
yeah,
Smithes of the
hmm
world, and there's a couple of other players.
yeah,
Not that it's their fault or I'm hating. There's
yeah,
also a
yeah, yeah.
couple stories where after that
hmm
first 3 or 4 year deal, that second deal, people got a bag and didn't put up 100 and woo to woo and be up there with Patrick Ewing and everything. So, like that's part of what you learn when the business and you get older. But you know what I mean. But that was all the more the credit to you because you could have easily been in the situation where after the first deal, you lowballed, you're almost out of the league because it didn't pan out, but you have put yourself in a position to be, you know what I mean, one phone call away from, nah, we'll do it, you know what I
hmm
mean? So that's only a hat and
Yeah,
credit fall to you. Things that you don't
yeah.
realize when you're
Thank you.
playing. You know what I mean? Like when you get
Yeah,
older
facts.
and
Yeah.
you
hmm
become a little bit more wisdom, be like, you know what I mean? I see what
hmm
happened there. So I just like to remind players because I've been there, not in a situation where you have, obviously, where, there's tons and tons of money on the line, but having a good year and thinking you're supposed to get, X amount, and I'm going to go right
Yeah.
back. I'll go for less. I
hmm
just want to go back and be here for the next 3 years.
hmm
And they don't know that. Your agent doesn't tell them that. It's their job not to tell them that you're comfortable taking less
hmm
money because then they get less
Yeah.
money. So just in the
Yeah.
tangled web of the stuff we do, I just like to remind players, or ask them, do they think about those type of things like, when we're playing? Because really when we're playing, we're playing.
I feel like we don't.
Yeah.
We don't, man. And it's okay not to, man. Be selfish in those moments. Like
Hmm.
we're young. Uh, we have a window. You know what I'm saying? So maximize the window that you see in front of you and be selfish, man. Be selfish with everything, because at the end of the day, when you get older, you're gonna appreciate you giving yourself that opportunity to see all those things through. Because God doesn't give everybody the talent to be able to be a professional athlete. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And that's whether you play in the NBA or you play overseas. You're a professional. So uh, you have to be able to handle that gift accordingly. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So the devil gives out all kind of distractions when you make it. You have women, you have gambling, you have a lot
Vices,
of
you got
things, man. You
drinking,
got
you got
you
smoking.
got
Yeah.
clubs,
Yeah. Yeah.
you got partying. So it's like gambling. You got everything. So it's at the end of the day, it's like how can you minimize those distractions as a professional, especially when you obtained what you feel like is necessary to be cool for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like be selfish in those moments of wanting to be the best player that you can be. You know what I mean? So when you get older, you can appreciate and value that you did that for yourself. Because as an athlete, that's probably the biggest thing and biggest fears that we face is just regret. You
Mm.
know, um, regret with you know certain decisions. All those things that I named. Holding on to one of those things and it is taking the control of your life. So um, I don't think we think about that. When you're younger, you're more emotional too. So it's kind of hard, like especially when you invested so much time and emotion into an organization and you feel like they don't feel the same way. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So a lot of that is like all of that kind of plays into to the factors of um, the decisions that players make.
We know that the like money and women and gambling and drinking is like the obvious vices and distractions. Is there something that just caught you like totally, and for both of you, that caught you like totally off guard once you did make money and make the league? Like, I got to worry about this too. Is there anything that like the common fan wouldn't really expect that is a common thread for athletes and people that make good money?
I can say
You
this.
want to go, Jelani?
Yeah, I can say this, and then I want to know how Josh felt. And I've lost a lot of NBA players with different experiences, All Stars, Hall of Famers, the whole gamut. I can say this, and you could take this for what it was. I can say when I got to the NBA, I was disappointed. Just a little bit. The thing that I saw on television wasn't the thing that I was experiencing. What Josh talked about, the business side, the game within the game, just even meeting some of your heroes and knowing their personalities and like, you know what I mean? Like, huh?
Yeah,
You supposed to help
yeah.
me. You turning your back
Mm-hmm.
on me, or you feeling some type of way because I'm young and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I was just a little disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Not to where I caved. It was just
Mm-hmm.
huh?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
coaches, learning the different dynamic of the coaches and the tangle web that they got and how they're trying to do the same thing we do to move chairs over and it was
Mm-hmm.
just like a
Yes.
really. I thought we were supposed to
Mm-hmm.
hoop. There's a multitude of other things going on that I can't just hoop, and you know what I mean? I got family and a little bit of money and I'm living out my dream and I'm young and we can't just hoop.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say
Yeah.
that's the part that disappointed me a little bit, and it took me back a little while. And I didn't have good vets. I had some veterans, but they weren't the ones that I needed at the time for me
Mm-hmm.
to advance.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't as confident as Josh. Josh was confident. I don't know if
I
it was his
was, yeah.
parents or whether you call it bullheaded it or whatever. Josh was good at letting one go in one ear and out
Mhm.
the other and understand getting the
Yeah.
message. I would take it and think about it before it went throughout the other ear.
Mm.
Josh came with whoop 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 whoop, took the
Yeah.
good what he needed, and I'll let him finish. He
Mm-hmm.
could tell this story, but I just know because I saw in Josh, athletic. He was smarter than you thought he was, basketball IQ wise. You know what I mean. So if you didn't talk to him
Mm-hmm.
the right way, he didn't need it. It's like I don't need. I
Mm-hmm.
learned this from Coach Smith to Oak Hill, homie. I already
Mm-hmm.
been a
Yeah.
pro the last
Yeah.
6-7 months, so I'll let him speak to his miss. But mine was a little disappointment as to the other things that led to you not being able to play your best game.
Man, damn. Uh, that was definitely one of them, man. What you like that? You summed it up. That and probably see, I had the vet that I needed. I needed Antoine Walker.
Mm,
If Antoine Walker wasn't on that team for that first half of the year, I didn't know how I would. I don't know because I had Kevin Willis. He was fucking with me the whole time,
mhm.
but he was a good dude though. But he was old fashioned. Like I
Different
gotta
era.
mess with this. I gotta mess with this rook. I have to mess with him.
Mhm.
Like what? Like
Which
what did
was
he
okay.
like take the bags,
It
donuts?
just no. Just anything. Like it was different back then. Like it was a little bit more. It was a little bit more reckless then. Like taking the bags is easy. I couldn't wait to take the bags. Like you want me to take the bags as a rookie? It was like messing with you type stuff. You know what I'm saying? But Antoine was teaching me the game. No, no disrespect to Al Harrington, but he was contract year, so he couldn't. He didn't have the time. He didn't have the time to show me, and that's what Jelani kind of is talking about when it comes to like the game within the game. Like we probably played the same
Mm-hmm.
position, so he didn't have time to
Mhm.
show me how to take his
Mm-hmm.
minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's gonna really do that unless they like on the way out of the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, and nobody's gonna try to tell a young guy how to maneuver and manipulate offenses and defenses and not gonna show you how to deal with everything. They're just gonna sit back and see how you handle it.
Was this before? Was this
So
before? or after Antoine like went through what he went through? Was this because you're saying he?
This is before. No, Antoine was having it.
Yeah,
Antoine he'll come to on the plane with $30,000 in his book bag,
easy.
like, and nobody's gambling. Like, nobody on the team was gambling that then. He was just whatever city we go to. Then he had like charity. He took care of people in Chicago. He had a lot of charity games and stuff like that. Where I met Michael Jordan for the first time playing softball at one of his events, and I just in awe and
Twan was cool.
big.
The
Yeah,
story is the
he was
story. Your
man, he's a
story is
good
the
dude, man.
story. But if you was his teammate,
Yeah,
there wasn't
he
nothing
was his
Twan
teammate,
wouldn't.
man.
He'll pull up. You could pull up
Absolutely.
to the crib. If he's shopping,
You
you shopping. If he eating, you eating.
hmm
Like the
If you
stories.
need to borrow a car, he'll let you borrow
Facts.
for a month or 2 months. He wouldn't even ask for it back.
Facts.
I think Royal Ivy or one of my other teammates, or Dante Smith,
Crazy
who was
leg.
rookies. Yeah, crazy legs. I don't think one of us didn't. One of them two didn't have a car for like the first couple of months in the season. I think he gave one of his trucks. You know what I'm saying? So he was a guy like that. You needed if you didn't have, you feel like you couldn't afford the suits, get you a
That's dope.
couple of them.
Facts.
So I had to definitely say what Jelani said, and just random people trying to be your friend. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to figure out how they get access to these little places, and these little venues that you have to be at, and they try to get up under you. So I think things like that too are probably the hardest kind of transitioning things that a young player has to deal
Sure.
with.
So
For sure,
going
yeah.
back real quick to the entrance to Atlanta, your arrival there coincides with Mike Woodson. There's a little bit of like an Indiana tie-in too. He went to Indiana, you were committed there, didn't end up going. And I mean, you got to give it to Woody in one sense that every year that he was there, the team did get better. I mean, that's what it seems like from the outside. But I know that maybe some people did have problems with you. For both of you perspectives, having been there, like what was Woody as a coach like as your as a 19, 18-year-old coming in and what give it paint that picture of what Mike Woodson was like.
For
Yeah.
me, it was difficult. It was definitely difficult for me. I mean, see, people got to understand Woody came from the era of
Larry Brown.
Bobby
Larry
Knight.
Brown.
You
Tell it.
got Bobby
Yeah.
Knight first. You
Tell
got
it.
the chair thrower first, and then you have Larry Brown. And the common denominator in both of those two is they didn't like young kids. They don't like young guys. They didn't like rookies. They didn't like freshmen in college. They didn't like none of that. So he definitely took that philosophy with him. So, like you said, the game within the game. You can imagine a coach not really wanting to play a young kid, and the organization is telling them to play him. You know what I mean? Because of the excitement that I'm bringing to the game. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like me telling you to do something with your job, controlling in your mind what I want you to do, and you don't want to do it, but you have to if you don't want to get fired. You're gonna kind of resent me a little bit, right? You're gonna resent a little bit, right? Not, and I'm just like the innocent bystander, not knowing what the hell is going on. You know what I mean? So it was like, you're a kid, and you see how like your coach is coaching other players versus how they coaching you. You know what I mean? So like I'm not a sensitive guy, and I never was. So, but it was to the point where it was like you got to talk to me like that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just talk to me like this 100%. You got to talk to me how you talking to the other guys a little bit. And it was it never happened. So it was like a lot of headbutting because we were both strong-minded individuals. But we got better because we had a lot of great players that come on our team. You know what I mean? So I kind of feel like we didn't do what we should have done with the talent that we had. No disrespect to no coach that was in that position. But like you said, Jelani, we was in a position where we had like 9 owners at the time, and I think they was offering who would take the. I think he was like the less paid coach in the NBA. Like, who's gonna take this little money to be this head coach?
Mm-hmm.
And he and he was a first year coach and he took it. So, um, if we had like if we had like a really really respectable
Season,
coaching staff at the
a season one,
coaching staff
yeah.
coaching staff at the time, because we had a lot of talent, man. We had Joe Johnson, Jamal Crawford, who I think he got 6 man a year
Yep.
2 times for us. Mike Bibby,
Horford.
Horford.
Kirk Heinrich,
Hmm.
Al Horford, Marvin Williams. Like, we had a lot of guys where where it could have made sense, where we could have went and did something really special. Um, and it didn't work out like that. But like I said, I wouldn't take nothing back from the experiences that I had. I was young. I was figuring it out, and like Jelani said, I did a great job at staying focused and
Yeah.
being confident in myself. You know what I'm saying? Because if I wasn't confident in myself, I can easily see how an 18-year-old could come in the league and just get
In the
just get
A?
washed.
From the A, playing in
Hmm.
the
Yeah,
A
yeah,
at 18, 19
yeah,
years old? Stop it.
hmm
You did a great
yeah, for
job.
sure.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, we definitely had our disagreements, but I'm older now. I see things from a different lens now. Um, and I'm a coach too now, but the thing that I took from that is I'll never leave a player broken. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I have to get on a player, I'm not just gonna we not gonna not talk about it for 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna call him. We're gonna discuss it. I'm gonna give him the reason why, and I'm a coach where it's fair game. I'm like a Popovich, so like I'm getting on my best player, so the 10th player on the bench can't complain when I get on him. You know what I mean? So everybody gets coached the same. But it is a different way. I kind of do it because I know my players now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but they all know that I'm there for them and I want their best interest. That's all a player wants to know at the end of the day, is if the coach is down with them 100%. Like, no matter what is going on in that moment, because we're at
Hmm.
war. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? We're battling. So anything can be said in the heat of the moment. You know what I'm saying? So you know, as long as I know that you're down with me,
Mm-hmm.
I won't take
But
anything
that's
personally.
what
You know what I
players
mean?
want, right? Like, if it, like I feel like anybody wants to get coached. Anybody wants to get,
Yeah,
constructively coached. You're doing this wrong, do this. But if you're not, you're
absolutely.
saying if you're not also at
hmm
the same time knowing that that coach really likes you and like wants you to succeed as a person, I could see that how that could completely mess with your head, especially as
It's
a
a give and take.
21 year
Absolutely.
old.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was young, man. I was
Yeah.
18 when I had him.
and it's a give and
To
take.
like 22,
Hey,
23 though.
question:
Yeah, and you got he's go ahead.
why did he show up at the game with no eyebrows? Did you ever get to the bottom of that? And is it true that did you
Oh,
put the Velcro on him?
I put the Velcro on him. We was trying to get him right, man. We was trying to get him right. But he was a cigar smoker, so I think he had one of those
butane.
flame cigars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think he did one of them numbers like that, and
Took them
it blew
boys
him.
up.
It blew it on off.
Blew
It
them
just
Steve
it
Harveys
just
off.
blew. It blew the reel was right on off, man. So I tried to improvise for my dog, man. I tried to improvise for him.
That's crazy.
So is it fair to say, Josh, for as much as Woody was what he was in your relationship, coming from Indiana, being a hard ass old school coach, was there some moments in there that you guys were cool or did have a safe space to at least joke? Because I find it's funny, like you can
Yeah.
both can be true. You can be beefing with a coach as a player, but agree with him
hmm
as a person. Is that
Yeah, absolutely.
does that
Yeah,
make?
we definitely had moments like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We had moments like that. We definitely had moments like that. Man, we're around each other more than we are around our spouses and our kids. So, you're gonna have friction days. You're gonna have days where everybody's getting along and kumbaya and we're agreeing. So definitely was some moments. Um, it was some moments. It was some moments of joking.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I was more so of a like I like to be with my teammates. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a teammate type of dude. So like kind of like building a individual relationship with a coach. It was more so with my teammates because I
Facts.
had to be in the fire with them more so than with anybody else. So getting the chemistry, learning and knowing my teammates in and out was more important to me than anything.
How was that All-Star Weekend experience your rookie year? You end up winning the dunk contest. If you go for the dunk contest, are you like kind of in your own silo, or are you still like mingling and chilling with like the All-Stars?
I was in my own world.
Hmm.
I had my partner, my best friend, Michael Cash. He went to UGA at the time. He flew out with another buddy of mine named Andy Gates, and we were just riding around, man. We was riding around. I think my agent was agents with Kenya Martin, so I was able to kick it with him a little
Hmm.
bit, and I was able to get in a couple of little places with him, and it was a great experience, man. It was a great experience for me and my friends. And it was like one that I can remember each and every day like it was yesterday.
Facts.
It was a fun experience for me.
Jelani, you want to talk about what you saw him do in an empty gym?
I don't know if you remember, Josh, but after a practice in Atlanta one time, we had a dunk off. I think it was me, you, Chill. I don't know if it was Boris. For some reason, there was somebody in there that was in there that shouldn't have been there. That just, it was definitely Crazy Legs. It was me, you, Crazy
Yeah,
Legs,
Dante. Yeah,
Josh. Yeah, and then I don't know if you remember, bro.
crazy
I
leg.
have
I
since
forgot
yes
about that
seen
nickname though.
yeah
That's the one though, man.
yeah.
I got you. I had to hit him with it. I still be talking
Tell
to
him I
him. I
said
gotta
what's
hit
up,
him with it.
man. Yeah,
I
yeah,
got you, bro.
yeah, yeah. But
I got you. I gotta hit him
you
with it.
Josh threw the ball off the floor, y'all, and he did like a modified windmill. I don't know whether it was the way he turned or something that he did. His feet went up in the air. He went from like 6'9" to 6'5". It just looked like the sweetest shit ever. And then he did it, and everybody kind of like paused, and the ball bounced. Everybody was kind of like looked around like, what just happened? And I threw the ball to Josh. I was like, do it again. And he was like, what did I do? And I was like, man, that's what I thought. I was like, thank God, because if he can just do that, you know what I mean, repeatedly, I was like, there
Yeah.
ain't no way, bro. I was like, I don't even. If you could have seen what we saw, because everybody, it was like one of the moments in the league. You know, in the league after practice, people start
Hmm.
doing weird shit. I seen
Yeah.
Vince
Yeah.
Carter throw a chest pass the length of the basketball court after practice one time.
Dang.
And then he had everybody trying to do it. You know what I mean? That's what happens after practice. You
Yeah.
see crazy shit like
Yeah.
that, and then everybody
Yeah. They
else
get
like,
to
hold
betting and
on.
all that. They get to put the little money down on it. Yeah,
Yeah, like there ain't no way if he can do it, I
man.
can do it. Put some money up, you know, and everybody huddle around. But that was one thing for Josh. But after I seen, it, I was like, yeah, ain't nobody 6'9", his height supposed to be doing that. Like young fella gonna be winning dunk contests and be all right. And sure enough, you know what I mean. Sure, coming down the line, that's what he was known for, and taking off with that left hand and doing stuff other people his size really wasn't doing. He was in that wave where he was a power forward, but was he a power forward? Because he could
Right.
dribble and
Yeah.
guard different positions. He really should have been a small forward because the power
Hmm.
forwards were all still in his era back to the basket.
Hmm. Prototypical. Yep.
Yeah, there was
Absolutely.
Timmy was
Yeah.
stepping out and
Prototypical.
going off glass. KG was showing a little
Hmm.
15, but really he was
Hmm.
playing the 3, the 4, the second team 5. If they brought in like a Stromile or somebody that was lean and athletic, no freaky, Smooth would be doing
Yep.
that. So in this era, J-Smoove is like a 1 through 5, like
Hmm.
Well,
unicorn.
could you
Like we've never
did
we.
you did I mean, you're definitely like a versatile defender. Was there any type of player that like might have given you problems? Like, was it the small guard? Was it the super big post up guy? Or did you feel like was there any Achilles heel to who you could guard?
Not when I really started to like watch the game of basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like watching it all day long, like on my days off, watching different players. It wasn't really like once I really knew the game, it wasn't a player. I think I don't know what year it was, maybe 2 years. I led the league in like ISO percentages on like defensively, like not getting scored on. So it was like I studied it, but when I was younger, man, I mean, obviously Gilbert Arenas, off the pick and rolls, he was before those injuries, he was a blur with the ball, and was like the Steph Curry before Steph Curry, he's shooting the ball from almost half court. I say him, and probably I say Carmelo when I was younger, knowing how to knowing how to like take that bump that he gives you and being able to like stay like
It'll
close the
move you.
space up still.
The mellow
Yeah,
bump will
move you,
move you.
but move you, get you right on out of there, boy.
Yeah.
It won't look like nothing but just a move. You know what I
Something
mean? No
light, and
offensive
you end
foul,
up all the
nothing.
way up at the other box. Like, what the
Man,
hell? Yeah,
facts,
yeah.
facts. So guys like that, I say Randolph, Zach Randolph, battling him. No, not more Zach Randolph. I mean Zach Randolph, battling him. It was you'll be bruised, man. Putting ice bags on that
One
thing.
more question about the dunk contest. You
Yeah,
beat Amari, and Jelani and I were talking. You can include yourself because I think like you really could. Give us your Mount Rushmore for big man dunkers of all time. So got to be a 4 or 5. Who are the best 4 big man dunkers ever?
Sean Kemp.
oh, wow. Sean Kemp is he number one.
That's what I said.
The things that he did with,
He let you
ooh,
Got
dunk,
on some Josh Smith
his
shit, but
highlight, his
right-handed.
highlight, his highlights is crazy.
Yeah.
and they let you
His
do
highlights
whatever
is
you want back then. So you could point at people. You could like right.
man.
You can hold your nuts. You know what I mean? You can
What about
scream.
from Sixers? What's
Dawkins.
the Dawkins? Got to go Dawkins. Got to put him on there. You said 4 and
Got to
5, right? I got to go
okay.
Shaq.
Young
Okay.
Shaq.
He was destroying the rim.
Ooh, Orlando
We
Shaq
got to
was
talk about that.
ridiculous.
And I got to go Dwight Howard.
That's about who we had with
Yeah.
Josh, and he didn't throw himself in there and make
There
5.
we go.
Yeah.
So I think snubs from
Yeah.
that.
You know, I'm being humble. I'm
Bro,
being humble.
yeah, I think
We gonna
you're the dunk against the dude on the Bobcats, Primo, where the sound of that dunk,
Brett.
I don't think I've ever heard. I think
Oh
that might be
yeah.
the best sounding poster ever. Exploded.
Yeah, I used to try to tear
You
the
ever
rim
break a
off.
backboard or
left-handed.
shatter a backboard, break a rim?
I broke a rim, not a backboard though. Never shattered a backboard.
So winding down here, like you said, the Atlanta team. I don't think you guys never made it past round 2, right? You only got to round 2 there.
Nope. Yep, that was it.
Your
Yeah, that was
first
it.
taste of the playoffs, you take the Celtics, the 2008 Celtics that are still holding on to that ring. You take them to 7 games. The Pachulia famous, the Game 7 speech after Game 6. What iteration of the Hawks do you feel like was the best team? And then was there a playoff series that you look back on and you feel like you really should have won?
I feel like was it after we won, that's when we started picking up. I think when we got Bibby, Jamal Crawford, I think that was like Kirk Heinrich. We was like I think we was like we was for real that year, those years, and man, we had LeBron in the East, man. So it's like saying we should have won the series is kind of crazy to say. I'm mad to say I think we played Chicago.
Yep. in
We could have won that series, but it was a young Derrick
It was when
Rose.
you ran into
I
unbelievable
think he
D
had
Rose.
MVP or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was MVP that year. So it was like, come on, man. Like what Mike's supposed to do?
Mike did, yeah.
So it was the times that I wish that we just didn't. I wish we'd put up a little bit more of a fight though. In some of those, I think we
Mm-hmm.
lost 5 games to like
Hmm.
Cleveland and like 5 to Chicago or something like that.
Orlando.
I feel like we lost to Orlando, but we caught them the next
Yep.
year. We beat them the
I
next
think
year in
that was the
5.
end of Dwight.
So
Yeah.
we got our lick back. We got our lick back with that. No, Dwight was
But
there.
that I think he left. I
He
think he
was there.
left the year after that. I think that ended
Oh
his
yeah,
Magic
yeah,
career.
yeah, yeah.
Um, how good
Absolutely,
was
yeah,
Joe
yeah,
Johnson?
yeah. We did that. Really good, really good, really good, man. ISO Joe. Um, I think by what 85% of our offense was ran through was ran through Joe. So
For a very good reason. Joe Johnson like 230,
absolutely,
240, man. People don't know. People just think he ain't
yeah.
just look like he's strong. Like,
He's big, man.
yeah.
He was built like one of them 300 soldiers. Like he's built like a
Yeah.
300 soldier. And he has to be one of my most clutch teammates ever. Um, game winners draw it up for him. He gonna send the other team home for
Mm.
sure.
He did it a lot in Atlanta.
He
Maestro,
did,
the
yeah, and he
Maestros,
did. He
yeah.
did it when he went to Brooklyn. He did it. He
Yep.
did it up there too a lot.
Yep.
So I mean, a guy that you can't speed up, super smooth, uh, ISO
Mm-hmm.
killer. Man, a guy that can get you a buckets in many different ways.
He like Jamal
And
Mashburn without the microfracture surgery. If Jamal Mashburn
right.
can
A
scoot
good call.
around
Oh
and be
yeah,
on
okay,
ball,
yeah, that sound about right there. Yeah,
yeah, and get to where he want to
jump
get to.
shots too. I like that
Mm-hmm.
comparison.
Mm-hmm.
I like that comparison.
Mm. Well, Smooth, this was dope, man. I think just closing out, like when you look back at your career and especially like your Atlanta tenure, doing what you did in your hometown in front of friends and family, like, you know, what is it just like pride? Like how proud of you are there? What feelings do you have now? Because I know Jelani and players talk about it. It's hard to kind of reflect back on your career. You definitely don't do it when you're in the midst of it. Are you in that mindset now where you're like completely at peace? Where do you kind of sit when you think about your, 10 plus years of NBA service?
I'm thankful. I'm blessed. I'm definitely at peace with it. It
Mm-hmm.
took me a minute to get here. It was moments where I couldn't even go to basketball games. Because you don't it's like you said, I was good at doing this, but when you get done, it's like
You
it
lose your
stays fixed.
superpower.
Yeah, you lose your superpower. So it's like all of the confidence going like so. It's like damn, you thinking about like what did I do? What's going on? You it's a lot of things that you want answered that you're never gonna get answered.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have to, like you said, you have to be at peace with everything. You know what I'm saying? And the most thing that was able to help me along the process is understanding the business. As you get older, you understand, you become more business oriented, and you think that way too.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't be nothing but blessed and thankful for the opportunities that I had. Um, man, a lot of guys don't even get to play 13 years in the league. So
Damn near
being
none.
able to stay that long out of high school, hearing Jay Billis say that I was going to be the biggest bust in my draft,
Mm.
uh, to playing 13 years in the league, it's a blessing. And when I look back at all the things that I've accomplished, I'm thankful. I didn't get any All-Star nods. Might have got snubbed a couple of times, but like I said, everything happens for a reason. I have 4 kids, 3 beautiful sons, athletic, strong. Uh, I'm giving them an opportunity to make it so they can experience it and also be able to help guide them and to making better decisions at a young age than I did when it came to just getting coached and understanding things from that aspect. You know what I mean? When you're young, you're trying to figure all that stuff out when you get to the league. Do they talk to you like this? How do guys get coached? What do they let you do? How much free time do you have? You know what I'm saying? So all these things are racing through a kid's mind when he first get in there, and and they definitely need guidance. You know what I'm saying? So the veteran definitely helped me with that. So but I'm good, and I'm blessed and thankful that I played the game so I can be able to pass it down to the players that's on my team and my kids.
Yeah, I wanted to put a pin in that, Josh. Welcome to the other side. It's a lot of bros that don't make it to this side and are still regretting going over regrets. And I should have made a left when I went right there. I should have never done this person like that. I wish this person was still in my life if I would have just been a little bit more communicative, present, whatever it is. And it's just, when your career, you're one of the best basketball players to ever play basketball. And I feel like sometimes when our career don't end or they don't go on the trajectory as what a lot of people assume it should be a slam dunk thing to happen, a lot of narratives get pushed and then guys just ride off into the sunset. We don't get a chance to meet who we ultimately are as a person. A lot of fans, teammates, players, coaches, if you want to get into coaching and, want to be interviewing for a position or somebody wants to come in your program, sometimes people's vision of you are the last thing they saw of you on a basketball court, which is an ill mental space to be at the end of the day. So as a person who saw you as that 18 and 19-year-old looking into your eyes now, we're all not perfect. We're all not supposed to be. But welcome to the other side, bro, because a lot of us, you've seen a lot of us who don't get to the other side and they're still harping on the past and still got a lot of pain that they have to get over.
Yeah.
And, maybe you still do. Maybe I still do. Maybe we all going to have our dark days. But, bro, it seems like to me you on the other side. And you're a person who deserves, who's gave enough of his life to basketball and made big time contributions where you should see the benefits. And if you want to be a coach, an analyst, invent a basketball product, whatever it is, like I'm here to just know that it's good to see other people on the other side and they're healthy enough to expect what's on the other side. And you seem like you're there now. And I think that's what a lot of what Forgotten Seasons is about. Not only you hearing your stats about what you said about, we talked about that earlier and I didn't know that, but you need to know your contributions. You need to know your worth outside of basketball. There's only been 5,000 of us and you were one of the brightest stars of the 5,000. So it's my job and I feel like it's on me to depart that information upon the bros when we end the show, during the show. So like I said, as a person who's seen you at 18, 19 years old, it's good to see you on the other side. And I think the future, you're going to be surprised how bright your future is, now that you stop playing.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
No doubt.
Really appreciate y'all for having me on. Jelani, it's really good to see you.
Always a pleasure.
I can't wait to call Crazy Legs and call him and tell
I'm
him
going to get your
I
number.
shot it up with my dog.
Yeah, I'm going to get your number. Maybe we all get on a FaceTime or a call or something, but definitely tell Dante I said what's up.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, dog.
Thank you for your time, and we'll catch you next week.
Mm-hmm.